Live with Nishan Shah. Welcome back to the show. We have quite a lot of things
Thank
to
you.
talk about. How to do.
I'm sorry you got frozen. Do you have a question?
Yeah, we have a lot of things to talk about today. So let's begin with how your days are going on in this pandemic thing that's been going on.
Definitely, we have a lot to talk about today. With the business, we are coming at the business end of the season,
Yes.
so there's a lot of
So
news.
yeah, absolutely. We've been covering a few Indian football transfer news, and we've not got anything solid with Haaland or Mbappe or anyone else till now. But then there are things that we can actually talk about which are of great importance. Like I would say, Tammy, if you would like to throw some light on the situation of Tammy Abraham at Chelsea, is it high time for him to be offloaded or like
I'm
what are
sorry,
your thoughts
Abhishek,
on that?
but I don't think you are very audible.
Not audible.
Yes, you're audible, but then your screen keeps on freezing.
Okay. Uh, One second. Just check. Sorry for the interruption, guys. I'll just check what's happening. Maybe the internet connection, which has been really good for the last few days.
Yeah, I had network connections issue last night as well. And now it's just become.
But
I
it
think
is
everything
saying
is going into lockdown now.
reconnected. Is it working well now?
Yeah, it's better. I think we can continue now.
Yeah. So, can you like throw some light on the situation of Tammy at Chelsea?
Sorry, can you repeat your question?
Can you throw some light on the situation of Tammy Abraham at Chelsea?
Okay, yeah. See, for me, Tammy Abraham, I thought that Tammy Abraham is a very good forward and an upcoming forward, an English forward. And I thought he was very well suited for Chelsea or any Premier League team of that kind because an upcoming striker, English striker, tall and he's good aerial ability. Moreover, he had a very good season before Tuchel. But right after Tuchel came in, he has kept him out of his plans like altogether. Even in the FA Cup, we have seen when Tammy Abraham is a top scorer, but then also he was kept out of the squad. So I think it is mostly because Tuchel wants like a very fast-paced system around his forward three, that is Pulisic, Warner, and uh, this guy.
Yeah.
Jake, but he basically it's a very fast moving system. Like the system where we can see that Timo Werner being out of form, he has been favored more. Like every time over Tammy Abraham. It's mostly because the movement that Timo provides, the pace that Timo provides on the counters, and basically the constant threat of moving out of like bringing defenders out of position. It's like those very little things that makes the difference, and those very little things that is making Timo Werner, even in one of his worst forms, edge past Tammy Abraham right now. I think that is the opinion from my end.
Yeah, of course. In the last season, we heard quite a lot of Chelsea fans, and some of them from our group as well. They were saying that yes, no matter which players come in, Tammy Abraham is still going to be a big match player. Of course, he did pull off some big match performances in the last season, but this season he hasn't been so good, and that's why I think this offloading topic is even here with Tammy Abraham. He was definitely
And I
very
honestly think
talented.
like for a forward who has like potential like Tammy Abraham, you should always look out for better clubs, better PL clubs because he is suitable for like most of the Premier League clubs right now. Like even if you see situations with Liverpool, they don't have a forward, plus they are struggling. You look at Arsenal, they are struggling. They don't have forward. Even with teams like Wolves They have Raul Jimenez, but then he has been out in and out of injury these days. So like
Yeah,
many Premier League clubs are there where Tammy Abraham walks into and gets the first 11 right away. So I think that is what he should think about right now. Like I don't think he should be staying back at Chelsea, and I don't think that Chelsea should be keeping a player 20 to 23 years of age with that high potential and waste him on the bench.
yeah. Of course, it's getting on their finances as well, considering this situation. But if
Absolutely.
you pay the player, then it's better for them to just or what do you think Chelsea's move might be in the next transfer window? That it's going to be full on, or is it might
But
be just a loan?
the the transfer window that Lampard had, the circus he made, buying all those players, like so many top potential players. I don't think Chelsea
Yeah,
needs anybody right away. I think they could do well with the centre back. Though Tony Rudiger has been overperforming under Tuchel, but then still is overperforming. He's not that high rated. And with Thiago Silva turning 37, I don't think he is a very long term plan. He cannot be a long term plan, right? So I think
absolutely.
with a centre back they can do. Other than that, I think they should offload a few people like Tammy, and also I think no, I think Tammy is enough. I think Marcos Alonso, but then Marcos Alonso is like a second left back option other than Chilwell. So that is fine. But Tammy Abraham is something that I think that he should and the club should think about his career and move forward with it.
Right, so you're talking about Tammy Abraham in the presence of the better players, so the so-called better players in Chelsea, and I would like to name one of them who has been really in hot form recently. That is Christian Pulisic. Do you think he can be like Hazard of Chelsea, like when Hazard was there and he was the main star of the team? Can he be that?
See, whenever we talk about Eden Hazard these days, it's like a really sad narrative because for 7, 8 years in Chelsea, we have seen even before Chelsea, people who have followed Hazard before Chelsea with Belgium, he has always been phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. The World Cup he played was absolutely mind blowing. He even in the Brazil Belgium match, he completely took control of things. And every Chelsea match, every time, like being a United fan, every time I played Chelsea, Hazard was a constant threat. These days, when I see Hazard playing, even in the last Real Madrid and Chelsea game, when Hazard came on, he had like 4 to 5 touches on the ball, and he has been out for most of the reign that he has been at Real Madrid. So right now, Hazard has become a very sad narrative, but we cannot take that. We cannot take away the fact that he has been a player that the world has looked upon. That Real Madrid number 7 jersey can be given to him. Like he has been that player in the past. So Christian Pulisic does have the talent and the potential to be Hazard or better than Hazard, but I don't think that should be the question right now. The question is should always be that how well that position is fulfilled. Pulisic has been in and out of injuries, but then whenever he has played and whenever he has been given a big stage to perform, he has always performed. Yeah, against Liverpool, against Real Madrid, we saw last week, and like players like Pulisic, they are like very intelligent players. They're fast and they're intelligent. The same that we saw with Hazard. Great movement, off the ball movement, with the ball movement is so amazing. Control, touches, finishing. So players like this always like comes once in a generation, and these players are to be protected and prevented from everybody. So Pulisic is like one of those players who has the potential to do what Hazard did at Chelsea, but I hope that his career doesn't wind up how Hazard is doing right now.
All right. I think we have someone who wants to join us. Let's check. Devargo, a fellow United fan, wants to join the chat, and let's pull him in. I think he has something to say about uh, this Hazard and Pulisic comparison what we're doing right now. Uh, anyway, till the time he joins in, I would like to say my opinion on this fact that Hazard being compared, is it even uh, okay to compare like Pulisic with Hazard? Now, considering what Hazard is playing at the moment, the way he's playing, his current form, his injuries, and other kinds of bullshit that he's been dealing with, still, it's very it's not it's not something that you should compare right off the bat because Pulisic has a lot to achieve till now.
Absolutely. This comparison
Pulisic,
is something that I don't think should be there.
yes, Pulisic has been breaking records for the U.S. national team, but at the end of the day, it's U.S. fucking national team, so you can't just say that he's doing great in the world because United States is coming up in the world football map slowly. Like if you're doing well in Europe, you have different respect, but if you're doing well in
Absolutely. Plus, moreover,
developing,
you can clearly see that like the U.S. national team as well, they have like grown all the through the years. Like right now, they have players in multiple positions. And they are like supplying players in Europe, great players in Europe. We can see Weston McKennie at Juventus. We can see Dest at Barca, and a lot of other players. Like they have been performing well. So players like Pulisic do even put the national teams on the map.
absolutely, yeah, like players like Pulisic and then other players as well, the
Exactly,
senior players.
exactly what Hazard and De Bruyne did for Belgium as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. Also they carried the team along with the likes of Lukaku, Thiago Courtois. They did a brilliant job with carrying the team,
Absolutely,
and I still
golden
remember
generation for Belgium.
of course. And then
Hello,
okay, he's here. I think we have.
Oh,
hello.
hi Devan,
Hi, Devargo. How are you doing?
how are you?
Are you becoming an uncle, huh?
How amazing it feels discussing Chelsea with two Man United fans, Abhishek.
I feels good coming from a Bayern fan talking about Chelsea. You know, we have
Hello, am I audible?
bad. Yes, soldier, we can hear you.
Hello.
Devargo, yeah, let's take time to sort this technological thing. It's really becoming an uphill though. But then, yeah, as a Bayern, like we have sweetened bitter memories with in the last season when Alphonso Davies side of the right wing of Chelsea.
Hello.
But then we can never forget what Didier Drogba did to us. So that's also something very bitter for us. Uh, uh, of hindsight, I think the Bayern and Chelsea fans have a mutual respect among each other, and good to see Chelsea carrying players like these, and of course, being potential finalists of UCL for for, uh, 7 years. Yes, 7 or 8 years. 8 years, yeah. So that's a good thing coming from Chelsea. But then
Hello, am I
I
audible?
think it should,
Is it okay?
Yes,
so,
Devan.
yeah, so it should be illegal to compare
Yeah, my
Pulisic with.
headphone is not working. I don't know why.
But you are audible, Devan. We can all hear you.
Uh, so what we're talking about at the moment is, can Pulisic be better than Hazard? It's a a very early comparison considering the age and the achievement both the players have uh, done till now.
Hello.
But it's still something we can talk about and of course speculate in the coming days. So, what do you think about this comparison? Do you approve of this comparison, or do you think this should be
Hello.
not legal or something like that?
I think there's some issue with my audio.
Yeah, I think so. I can hear you.
I think we are not audible to the Devargo.
I think so. Let me check. So he's definitely having some connectivity issues. Uh, all right, so let's resume with what we were talking about. Uh, First off, now that we've spent some time and talk about what is Chelsea and in general, can the next topic and the big topic which comes up is, can Pep actually go on to win the Champions League?
Can you put the question again, Abhishek?
Can Pep win the Champions League?
With Man City, you mean?
Yeah.
With Man City, you mean?
Yes, of course with Man City.
I hate to admit it, but then obviously,
Right.
like the way they had played against PSG last week, they do have the chance. We all know that they do have the players, they do have the manager, the bench, everything. Like they have all of it in their favor, and it is theirs to lose now. Having two away goals against PSG. But then we know that PSG have been very good away from home this season. So the return fixture would be a great one to watch. But then as of now, I think it's like between them and Chelsea. I don't think Real Madrid has the like it doesn't even have the first 11 to compete for it because of lot of injuries and COVID and a hell lot of things happening, like Marcelo going becoming a polling agent and stuff like that. So, taking that into consideration, I think Real Madrid is not one of the main contenders, but then it's always UCL and Real Madrid. You cannot just rule them out. Plus, we have the news of Sergio Ramos coming back. We have the news of Mendy coming back. We have the news of I think your Valverde coming back. So if all these three players come back in the team and start, you can considerably expect a different result. Because Sergio Ramos being Sergio Ramos, he already adds people in the team. One for defense, one for attack. He's there.
Yeah.
He's always a threat. Every
Also
set
great.
piece, every set piece, because you see with their set piece taker Cruz. Cruz like can pick out players from a set piece. He can like select and pick out players. It's like playing FIFA with Cruz. So having that kind of accuracy and having a conversion rate of what Sergio Ramos provides, it's always a chance from set pieces. And I don't think Chelsea will be very great at defending them. Though they have Thiago Silva, we have seen how good he has performed the last match. He has been absolutely amazing, and he has been amazing throughout the season. So they do have the ammunition. Even if Real Madrid get those players back, I think Chelsea will go through because Tuchel has formed a system and has got the players that fits his system and can make results out of it. So on that front, I think there's Chelsea. On this front, the question were Man City. The Man City question remains that every time we have seen Pep Guardiola doing some sort of changes, some rotation, some tactical changes every year, and losing to
Shadow.
small teams like Leon and whatnot, and giving away cheaply, giving it away basically. So this
Yep.
season, the semi-final, I was expecting something similar to happen. I even had a bet with a friend that he'll drop Riyad Mahrez for Ferran Torres because he's Pep Guardiola, but he didn't, and he did put up the team that has been giving him results. He did not give unnecessary rest to players and unnecessary squad rotations. No tactical changes. He has been playing a false nine throughout the Premier League season, which has brought him insane results, which has gotten him from 13th position to first position and absolutely holding it. Like
Yes.
United has been a good side this season, but they have not been challenging the title because City has been so amazing. So he has not done anything what generally Pep Guardiola does to screw himself up. So I think if PSG doesn't put up a masterclass in the return leg, it is Man
Yeah.
City's title to lose. But then you cannot rule out Chelsea because Chelsea did stop their quadruple run in the FA Cup by beating them.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's FA Cup, and that's Pep getting a go at the UCL after like
See,
proper
we all
coaching.
know Pep Guardiola and cup competitions, man. We all know Pep Guardiola and cup competitions. You can never have that. Like, I have this personal thing in me that football is runs on legacy. It happens that way. It just happens that way. You cannot take these things like I know this is very superstitious and this is very vague. This doesn't make sense. But then you see things like this happening again and again and again in football. So you cannot rule this out. So I think if PSG doesn't put up a masterclass and Real Madrid somehow manages to knock Chelsea out, it's Man City's title to lose. But it will be really heartbreaking seeing Manchester City win a
No, like
Champions League.
that now. Considering we see Pep Guardiola live the UCL, they're running around with the UCL trophy. So, what is going to be your reaction as a
See,
fan?
individual City players like De Bruyne, like Foden, like Aguero. I don't think anybody not cannot love them. Like they are absolutely a treat to watch. But then yes, City. But again, it comes down to the club and the rivalry. Manchester City running away with the UCL, and I really think that United have been unfortunate to not play the UCL, not continue in the UCL this season because they have been that good. They have
Right.
been UCL quality this season, but it has just been unfortunate and a lot of errors that cannot be taken away. But I think we learn from it. Obviously, we should. So yes, that is it. Like other than that, I don't think anybody is stopping. Other than PSG's insane, I don't know, individual brilliant performances from their starmen. If that happens, we can see what they can do. They can change matches and games on their own. Like
Absolutely.
they can give you a big heart beating at your own home. One single player can do it on his own. We have seen
But then
it. We have
it's
seen
good.
them doing it against Barca, against Bayern, and whatnot. So if that
Like,
doesn't happen, it's always
once,
Man City because Man City is a team. Man City plays like a team, has very good movements. Every player is moving in a certain direction where the ball is supposed to reach, and they do have this sense of togetherness that I think PSG sometimes lack in the midfield. So that's the only difference. I think that's the only difference. But having players like Neymar and Mbappe, it's like very difficult to completely rule them out. So let's see. I hope they do not, but I think they will.
so it's also Pochettino's chance to actually prove the naysayers wrong, but it looks less likely for Pochettino to be able to handle the pressure at at a stage like that, and particularly when you're being faced by a like seasoned side like City and with an experienced coach like Pep, it's definitely going to be hard for Pochettino's side to do anything. But then, of
See,
course,
Pochettino has experience against Pep Guardiola to play against
yes,
Pep
but
Guardiola. He has the
uh,
experience.
yes,
And then Mauricio Pochettino has the experience to have a comeback in a second leg of a Champions League semi-final. Has the
yeah,
experience to play a Champions League final. So you never know. You cannot. I personally really like Pochettino as a manager and as a coach because he has given those very simple glimpses of that brilliance. He has not been able to prove it with the trophies or with the numbers like Pep Guardiola has, but I think that he has made a side like Spurs now one of the top six because of the how we see how they have been chosen for ESL and not teams like Leicester and Wolves because they have been on better pecking order in the league. But still, he has made that side a formidable side. He has been able to keep players like Harry Kane, Heung-min Son, Lucas Moura, and top players intact. Hugo Lloris is almost such a top goalkeeper, but he has almost given his entire career for Spurs. So Pochettino has that in him. But let's see, Pep Guardiola is a more experienced, more seasoned coach, more seasoned, has a better team, has more rotational options.
correct.
So Guardiola does have the better ammunition, better arsenal. But then I don't think we should rule Pochettino out just like that because he has been right here, right at this position where he has been losing the UCL first leg, and he
Yes,
has
and
came back from there with players with now he has better players than he had at Spurs. He has a better team right now.
that's actually a very good point from your side. That last time it was Liverpool against a side like Spurs, who had actually
Yes,
no chance when you consider the individual talent. But this time out, it's almost as good as like both the teams are as good as each other.
absolutely. You see from the goalkeeper position, like from Navas. Last day, Navas had a brain moment. I don't know, and Navas has done that with Real Madrid in the league before. I don't know what happens. He's such a good goalkeeper, but once or twice he completely switches off and does mistakes like this. We have seen that with top goalkeepers. We have seen that with David De Gea. We've seen that with Ederson, Allison. Happens with goalkeepers. Keylor Navas' one is a bit more frequent one, but then it's okay because other than that, he has been very good in the UCL also this season. So from the goalkeeper position to the forward position, Pochettino does have a very strong, tight team, along with the good bench strength of Andre Herrera and players like. But I think the only place where PSG is not like suit like not like have a stronghold right now is the left back position because Abdul Diallo has been injured. He has been the main want to fill up that position, and he is a very, very good player. We have seen him play in UCL, we have seen him play in the league. He has been very instrumental for this team. Whereas Michel Walker is a good option, but then you do not walk into UCL semi-finals with second options, right? You want your first team
Absolutely,
to be there.
absolutely. So of course, in that sense, we can't just rule out any team. All the four are like equally deserving to win the
Absolutely.
beat by the skills, be it by the bench strength or pedigree, or be it by the legacy that they have in the particular tournament. So it's very tough to say, but I think it might just be bets here because the signs are really there that this side can actually win it and take the trophy to the Etihad Stadium. So in that sense, let's stop it here. And it has been good to have a Man United fan discussing about City's European
Chelsea and
success.
Man City, right?
That's a success on my part of bringing you here in this podcast. I'll take
Right.
Please, if you like this, share, subscribe, and of course, share this with your friends. And we'll try to do a daily show at this time. We'll go live with whoever we have. Of course, I'm still trying to bring in
Yeah,
the
we'll try to do
famous
this daily, man.
Rup Tirtho, and of course I do dearly want to bring back Nilakash in this panel because he's such fun and he's has some brilliant insights in the Chelsea game. So looking forward to that as well. Till then, we'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.
Bye.
Hey!